Hello and welcome guys. Today we're gonna do another video about Sensible Finance, as they have released an article yesterday talking about an update where we stand with smart staking, but also some interesting news as to what we can expect from the project itself and where it's going and future developments that are not that far off. So recently Sensi locking has been released. As you can see, you can lock your Sensi to receive some rewards after 28 days. I've already made a video about this, but on this website you can see that on the left side there is smart staking that is coming soon. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Smart staking is a little bit different to Sensi locking. Sensi locking is risk-free and it rewards you Sensi from the pool for holding it, whereas smart staking is going to be staking BNB and then getting your rewards in Sensi. But a little bit more about that in a second. Jumping back to the article that I have mentioned, you can see it here. It has been released yesterday, and I will leave a link down in the description, but let's get to it. I'm gonna read through some of the most important sections and then give you guys my thoughts and maybe shine a little bit more light on it. For those people that can't be bothered to read it themselves, they can just put that video on and then I'm gonna talk through it. So good morning to Sensi holders. It has been a while since we received an announcement. So as you know, SmartStake has been the flagship development program for Sensi since the launch, and good progress has been made. More on this below. It was always the case, of course, that this was only one piece of the puzzle in terms of long-term Sensi roadmap. And with that said, we are pleased to announce the next major project to come under the Sensi umbrella, and we can see our own decentralized crypto exchange. This is the next project that Sensi is taking on when it comes to the development of Sensi, and that is a very good news, because the more use that we have for the token itself, the more likely some people are going to buy it. Because if they look at Sensi locking, they're like, it's okay, we can get some percentage back. But if they look at smart staking and then you can look at Sensi locking put together and the compounding interest with those two uses, and they're more likely to think, all right, this is heading somewhere. But if we get more uses such as decentralized crypto exchange and then smart staking, Sensi locking and whatever else they have planned, people are going to be more likely to buy the coin because it has more uses than just one that we have currently. The aim here has always been to build a comprehensive platform of DeFi services that was easier and more accessible to a wider audience, and for this a DEX of our own was really the only logical move. Having our own exchange platform opens up the possibility of offering a much broader range of features that would otherwise be unavailable to us, along with providing significant additional utility to the Sensi token itself. That's what I have mentioned. The more uses Sensi has, the more likely people are going to buy it. We will take the best features from existing and upcoming DEX platforms and combine them with new functionality not yet offered elsewhere in the space to provide a market-leading swapping and investing platform. Now, this is a big promise to be making, and hopefully it's going to work out that way. But the only thing that I'm a little bit worried about is to release an exchange platform. A lot of marketing is going to have to be done to get it off the ground. But we'll see how that goes. I'm positive. I'm very optimistic when it comes to this project. In particular, we are aiming to make our exchange a very attractive place for new projects to launch and existing ones to move across, by offering their dev teams significant new features and flexibility about how their coin is deployed and traded. So that's going to be a little bit of competitions to the current platforms that can be released, that you can release your coin on. Which is always good. A little bit of healthy competition is always good to drive the prices and get more exposure to the Sensi token. These features will be announced closer to the launch, but as we can see, I believe it is in development currently, and it might release in a couple of weeks. I believe that was the information. This development is particularly bullish for Sensi holders because it provides a huge amount of additional utility for the token beyond smart staking. We know smart staking is already a huge project itself that's going to bring a lot of new buyers and a lot of new buys into Sensi, and that is going to expand the project further, and the natural buy and hold incentive due to deflation built into the token. Some of the possibilities are detailed below. Intention of the exchange is that new developers will come with a requirement to buy Sensi and lock it into the locking platform. Now that's gonna increase the amount of holders, but it's also gonna decrease the supply available for sale. Currently we have 100 trillion, I believe, locked in, which is about 40 something percent locked in, so that supply is not available for sale. So the more supply we have locked in within the Sensi locking program, the less sales we're gonna have, which is obviously good, as with smart staking, consistent daily buys are going to be coming through. So the less people can sell, the better it is for the price of Sensi. There will also be a percent of the exchange fees that is used to buy and burn Sensi tokens to speed up the rate of deflation. Preferential fees on various services offered by Sensi and the DEX. Tell me in the comments how to pronounce that. I can just say DEX, but might be something else. The exchange, whatever that means. For those who lock Sensi tokens, airdrops for new projects launching on our DEX as prize for a lottery for locking Sensi. So there's quite a lot of use when it comes to the exchange itself. This is going to be the biggest one that new developers will have a requirement to buy Sensi and lock it. Now, as explained before, that's going to be a big one. Detailed white paper is going to be released closer to the release date. And for the time being, that's all they can say. A version 1.0 might be here within a few weeks or even less. So as I have mentioned before, it might be just in a couple of weeks after SmartStake releases that they will focus all of the manpower into developing the exchange. More functionality can and will be added over time. The Sensi buyback and burn requires access to DEX, and it became apparent that it would be an advantageous if this buying was done from our own DEX rather than an external one such as Pancake. Going back to SmartStake itself, as discussed at the top, we've made good progress on SmartStake and are about to enter the testing phase, since it has been a while since we launched and we have a lot of new holders who have come in on the back of recent marketing. Here's a quick recap of SmartStake. I'm not going to go through that. I've already made a video going through the white paper of SmartStake, so you can check that one out if you have any questions or just want a little bit of a recap on what smart staking is. Basically, you take BNB, you invest it, that BNB is spread into 10 or 15 different yield farms, and then you get some profits back. Those farms are obviously going to be audited, and to start with, they only going to choose those that have less risk. But obviously, as the project grows, they're gonna expand to different farms, and then your reward is gonna be paid in Sensi, which then can be locked in for some more rewards. Going back to the update, smart contracts for SmartStake have now been completed, more or less. The next step is to integrate them into the prototype frontend, and we can begin alpha testing. So that alpha testing, I believe, is gonna start this week. The secret sauce of how SmartStake decides where to put user funds will sit outside the contracts to prevent competitive projects from copying our code. If these shitcoins want to steal our idea, they'll actually have to know a little bit of programming to do it, which safely rules out just about any coin with safe Elon, Moon, Shiba, Mars, Dog in its name. Now that's a pretty important point, as we obviously don't want someone just flat out copying the smart staking idea before it takes off, as you always want credit for being the original one, and rather than someone just copying and putting a shitload of money into marketing and claiming they have made it first. So that's really good that they are putting it outside the contract, so not just everyone can look at it, and hopefully it's gonna prevent people from copying it as it is coming closer to the launch. So the testing timeline looks like this. Alpha testing should begin this week, as mentioned before. Then closed beta is gonna begin when they are confident no major bugs are found in the alpha testing phase. Some community members will also have a chance to partake in the closed beta. Then they're gonna move on to open beta, which is gonna speed up the release time frame and deploy a scaled back version of SmartStake to the public. So it's gonna be well, a beta version, right? It's not gonna have all of the features that they want to put in, but just something that can be tested and looked for bugs and anything that might not be good for the project in the long term. And that's much easier to do if you have a community testing the project rather than just the developers themselves. The open beta will stick to a list of lower risk, lower yield farms. So basically you're gonna get lower rewards, but also lower risk. And then as the project expands, as I have mentioned before, more yield farms are going to be added on to the smart staking feature. Full release, once the core functionality is tested and proven, the platform will be pushed live in its entirety, with any restriction released and a full selection of yield pools for smart stake to invest in. Over time, we will continue to push updates, adding new functions such as improvised rates for wallets holding locked Sensi, and new farms to the pool. This will see APY rates can offer improve steadily over time. There's also going to be a website update. I'm not sure why that is necessary, because the website looks pretty alright, but it is being redesigned. Hopefully there's going to be some new features and it's going to look better. There's also going to be an AMA, I believe, as there has been a while since they've done one, and I believe they are doing doxing, which is basically the features the developers of the project are gonna introduce themselves and go public. Yeah, we can read here the team will be going public in the near future. And that is it for the update. It has been written by Tony on behalf of the Sensible Finance team. If you want to read this article yourself, there's going to be a link down in the description. If you want to talk more about the Sensi itself, there's also going to be linked to the Telegram and my personal Discord channel. If you want to ask me some questions, there's links to those. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.